Okay, good afternoon all. Am I audible to you? That's great. So today we will start with our discussion on histogram. Okay, so what is image histogram? I think histogram is a very common word, and it is that concept is might be known to you in statistics. If not, then we can definitely discuss it here. We can start the discussion from this point. Histogram is what? It is a graph. It is a plot of on the x-axis on that plot. What will be that number of intensity levels? Right, your intensity. And what about on the y-axis? On the y-axis, we are going to plot the frequency of it. Right. So if I say that it is 8-bit image, then it will be 0 intensity possible, then intensity 1 will be possible, intensity 2 will be possible. In that way, I will have all possible values L minus 1. Right? I have L minus 1 possible intensity levels, right? And it is 255 if it is 8-bit image, right? So I will check how many times 0 occurs, how many times 1 occurs, how many times 2 occurs. That plot, if I plot like this occurs 10 times, this occurs 20 times, so on. In my image, how many times this particular intensity takes place, that frequency is plotted on this, then it is a histogram. So plot the histogram of this. That is the job. So what will be is, it is actually a 3-bit image. It is given that it is 3-bit image. So what are the values on x-axis possible? If it is 3-bit image, what are the values possible on x-axis? On x-axis, which values are possible if it is 3-bit image? Yes, they are 0 to 7. Yes, they are 0 to 7 values. And how many times 0 occurs? Can you plot that graph? Can you give me? Because again, I know it is very easy for you to be aware of, to know that, but still I will need them. That's why I want you to do that exercise. Tell me how many times, what will be the value at 0? I mean, you are saying that this will be 0 to 7. So can you tell me what will be the value at 0? So how many times 0 occurs? Can you calculate it? In this image, how many times 0 occurs? Yes, it is 18 times that 0 occurs. So right, so at 0, I have 18 number of times that it takes place, right? Then how many times 1 occurs? So that will be 6 times. So that you will calculate that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. If you will observe, there are no more ones. Okay. Same way 2, you can count for 2, you can count for 7, and if you will observe, there are no occurrence of 3 to 6. Intensities are just taking 3 values, 0, 1, and 7. 0, 1, 2, and 7. 3 to 6 values are not taking place at all. So that's why their count is 0. Okay, so this is histogram. Now tell me, if I randomly So are you clear with the histograms? If I give you random image, will you be able to plot the histogram? Are you comfortable with the concept? Should I repeat it, or are you clear with what is histogram, how to plot any random image, and you will be able to plot it? Great. Now the case is, suppose I take a pixel. I take a pixel and randomly choose a pixel, right? Any random pixel I will choose. What is the probability that pixel will have value 0? If I select a pixel randomly, what is the probability that selected pixel will have value 0? How to find probability? Yes, it is 18 divided by 36. It is 18 divided by 36. True. Why it is 18 divided by 36? The total number of pixels are 36 and occurrence of 0 is 18 times. So yes, I will say it is 18, which is occurrence of 0 divided by 36. That will be what? Probability of occurrence of 0. Okay. Okay, now take a random value, same way, what will be the probability of occurrence of 1? So you will say it is 6 divided by 36, right? What is the probability of occurrence of 2? That is 2 divided by 36. Same way 3, 4, 5, 6, there will be 0 divided by 36, that is 0 itself. Same way this will be 10 divided by 36. Now question is that, okay, so now if I will, now I am plotting it. On my x-axis there will be intensity. On my y-axis it is not frequency, but it is probability of occurrence of this intensity. Then that graph, as the previous graph was known as histogram, this graph is known as probability density function. The graph of probability was probability of that particular intensity is known as probability density function, right? If you plot here frequency, then it is known as histogram. Okay, probability, so histogram value of intensity 0 is denoted as h0. What is the frequency of occurrence of 0 is h0. And same way p0 will be what? That probability density function value of p0. Can you give me that how p0 and h0 are related with each other? Or in general, hk and pk are related with each other? Pk is probability of occurrence of kth intensity, hk is count. Hk or nk, sometimes it is also referred as nk. How they are referred? How they are related? Can you give me some generalized equation there? Yes, hk is equal to pk into number of pixels. What is number of pixels? Total number of pixels? And will it be number of pixels is total number of pixels? Of total number of pixels of entire image. True, entire image. So what we are having here is, suppose my image resolution is m cross n. Suppose my image resolution is m cross n. Then can you give me the relation between, I want like pk is equal to something of hk, or some equation in form of hk. What will be that? pk is equal to, yes, it will be pk divided by hk divided by mn. True, true. So this is what the equation we might need somewhere. So that is what I was telling you, that sometimes it is referred as nk, sometimes it is referred as pk, and is total number of pixels. And if the dimension is m cross n, then it is this one. Okay. Now, what will be summation of all pk? Summation of all pk will be 1. What is the range of k? See, these are very simple questions, but will be useful to us in many places. What will be the range of k? How k will vary? Pk is summation of pk is 0 over variable k. What is the range of k? You said okay, summation 0 to L. Will it be 0 to L, Gina? 0 to 256, is that your case? L minus 1, true. It will be 0 to L minus 1, absolutely correct. Right? So this is what is simple but useful statement to us. We will use it. So what sum of this probability is 1. Plot of this probability density, plot of this probabilities is known as probability density function, that is PDF of input image, and it is denoted as, because it is of input image, it is not only denoted as P, but it is also taken as R, because this is input image, probability density function of input image. Then after processed image, it will be PS. R and S are for input and output, that's why, right? And so this is just a book because of symbol, but logically you should understand. Now, suppose I give you one histogram. Suppose I give you one histogram. Let us have interesting observations here. Suppose my histogram looks like this. This means here there are no values, and here I have so many values on this side. Over this side, there are almost 0 values. Can you tell me image is looking like? How image will look like? It is a dark image. Yes, it is a darker image. It is a dark image, right? Right. Same way, if I take histogram like this, what is your take? It is dark or bright image? Bright image, right? Okay. Now you may say, okay, but we can look at the, so to decide image is dark or bright, we don't need to go for histogram. Why you are going for histogram? We can look at it and we can decide, na? And why we need to decide even it is dark or bright? So first question is that, okay, suppose my image is darker. Suppose my input image is darker. I have to use gamma value less than 1 to make it bright. And if my image is brighter, I need to use gamma value greater than 1. Okay. So if I can decide that not only for this is just one example. Many methodology, many image processing techniques are having parameter value different for dark value, for other parameters for the brighter values, right? So it is very much possible that you need to decide whether you should be, I mean, it is required to use this information that image is dark or bright to decide that parameter values. Okay. So that is a requirement that we need to decide whether the image is dark, bright, or which type of nature it is, so that I can apply proper enhancement technique to that. Okay. But yes, that is a valid question, that if I can look at the image, then I can decide it easily that it is a bright image or dark image. Why to go for this? Can anyone tell me why we are deciding from the histogram whether the image is dark or bright? See, here we are not involving any human to decide, right? We want that our machine should decide. Machine is going to decide based on intensity values only. Na? It will check that how, if number of occurrence of a darker value is more, that means image is darker. If number of occurrence of darker value is more, that means you are ultimately implicitly or indirectly you are calculating histogram only. Na? Okay. How machine will decide that image is darker or brighter? It will check that number of occurrence of zeros and nearby intensity is more, that means image is darker. That's it, simple. That is how machine is going to decide. Otherwise, all the numbers are same for the machine. So if you want to go for automation, You can decide in that way, but ultimately if you're checking it, that means you're working on histogram only, and that how many times dark value occurs. Okay, so that is what the use is. One more question to you. This is L minus 1. Which kind of image is this? Dark or bright or other type? Okay, I can give you a hint. High contrast or low contrast? Yes, it is a low contrast image. It is a low contrast image, true. So suppose my image is like this, then I should apply gamma transformation. If my image is like this, then I should apply contrast stretching, right? So which enhancement technique is to be applied, that also can be decided by this one. Okay, one more case. This is L minus 1. This is histogram. High contrast or low contrast? It is high contrast from 0 to L minus 1. This is L minus 1. It is high contrast or low contrast? Dark or bright? Yes, it is high contrast. So if my histogram is concentrated over the left side, then it is dark. Concentrated over right side, then it is bright. Concentrated over certain region only, maybe on the left, maybe on the right, but still certain space only, very narrow range of intensities, then it is low contrast. And if it is spanning all over the range, almost like this, then it is high contrast image. So this is very much useful to us. High contrast because entire range is used. Black color is also there, white color is also there. All other colors are existing, right? So that is what is all about. So dark as expected, bright as expected, low contrast as expected, high contrast as expected. You can verify. Comfortable, na? Everyone? Up to this? Any doubt? Okay. Okay. What about this histogram? Okay, so what is the use of it? So it can be used for image enhancement. As I told you, to decide parameter value, to decide enhancement technique, you can use histogram. Compression and segmentation. Can anyone tell me how compression and segmentation can be benefited by this histogram? Segmentation, do you understand? Segmentation, do you understand? Segmentation is what that I will segment my image in the foreground or background or some object I am going to segment from. I'm separating out certain region from the image. That is segmentation. Okay. Let me tell you, this is my image. Okay. On that there is a foreground object. This is the object. Okay. And that object has intensity. It is a brighter object. It is a brighter object. Right? And this is my background, which is a darker background. It is not like black and white, but background is dark, foreground is bright. Okay. Histogram, if I will plot, histogram looks like this. This is intensity 0, this is intensity L minus 1, and this is say intensity 1, what we can say 37. This is intensity 137. This is 255, this is 0. Tell me, left peak or right peak indicates foreground. Left peak or right peak indicates foreground. Right peak indicates foreground. Okay. How can I separate, how can I segment uh, that foreground. See, in the last laboratory we had that mask, right? If you remember, if you want to extract foreground, what you have to do? You need a mask. What kind of mask you need? It should be exactly same as your object. I will need a mask like this. No, this should be black and this should be white. If I can get such type of mask, then what operation I will perform on this to get foreground? To segment my foreground. Suppose I can get this type of mask where foreground is white, background is black, and I have image. Then what kind of operation I will apply on this too so that I can get my segmentation? Yes, multiplication or AND operation, both are fine. Both are correct one. Okay. So now what is my need for the segmentation? To have this type of mask. What is my requirement? That foreground part should be white. That means there should be 255. Background part should be black. That is 0. If I can get that, right? Or I can, if it is foreground, then 1. Otherwise, 0. That is okay. Whatever is your requirement that you can go with, right? So can you tell me how can I obtain this from this? Use your logic. Obtain this from this. This is histogram. Which operation will you perform? Are you clear with the question? Answer is not difficult, I know, but are you clear with this question? Yes, thresholding at 137, that is absolutely correct. Thresholding at 130, yes, it is 137, so you are going to threshold at 137. Because I know 137 is going to separate out my foreground and background. So to obtain such image, what I will do, what I need, my foreground should be 1, I'm 255. My background should be 0. So if my intensity is greater than 137, that means it is my foreground part, and hence it should be 1. Otherwise, it should be 0. Or 1, if not 1, then 255. That is your thresholding choice, right? So I will obtain this, and then I will perform multiplication between these two so that I will get my required region. That is my foreground. I hope it is clear to you. This is how histogram will help us. Okay, everyone is clear with this? Are you clear? Okay, great. How compression will be useful? I mean, how histogram will be useful in compression? I can give you the hint, or rather I should say I am giving you the idea totally. This is 0 to 255. My image, this value is 64. Assume that this is 64. How many bits? So I don't want to, what kind of image it is? Dark or bright? What kind of image it is? It is a dark image, right? I don't want to modify my image. I want to keep it dark. It's okay. That is whatever I have obtained. That is what required for my operation. I don't want to modify. I don't want to change it. I want to keep it as it is, right? It is sufficient for me, right? It is possible that I need dark image. I want to work with dark image, right? My intensity is up to 0 to 64. I have values up 63 rather. I should say it is 63. I should say it is 63. After that, I have value 0. So what is my question to you? Question is that how many bits I mean, do I need 8 bits to represent a pixel here? Do I need 8 bits to represent a pixel? How many bits are sufficient? How many bits per pixel is sufficient? 6. So can I compress per pixel 2 bits? I can use compression of if I will use 6 bit, that is sufficient, right? So from that, here also you can see that if this much is sufficient, no need to use this huge or long range, right? So that is how it is useful in compression, that look at it, how many values are occurring, and based on that, if you can compress, that will be, that is what there are the applications, right? So much information you can get from histogram. We will see now onwards, without histogram, many of the operations we will not be able to, conclusions or what we call intuitions for the operations we will get from this. Okay. Now, suppose my histogram is like this. It is high contrast or low contrast? Low contrast, right? If I want to, if I equalize this histogram, what is the meaning of that? Currently, my intensity, all the intensities are in the range of 0 to say 50 to 100, right? But if I equalize it, that means if occurrence of all the intensities, all the possible intensities almost equal, of course not exactly equal, it will not be exactly equal, but if it is occurrence of 0 is equal to occurrence of 1 is equal to occurrence of 2 is equal to occurrence of 255, if I can change like this, if I can change it like this, can you tell me what will be the impact on the image? If I can equalize, what kind of impact I am expecting on the image? What will be the transformation in the image? Yes, contrast will be very high. It will be high contrast image. So, to improve the contrast of an image, histogram equalization is performed. Right? What is that? So, transform an image in such a way that apply some function T on your input image R, such a way that its histogram has nearly that histogram becomes like this. That means it has nearly uniform distribution of pixel values. Nearly uniform distribution. Same. This is uniform distribution, no? That you have studied. This is uniform distribution. Earlier it was like a Gaussian shape. It is uniform distribution. Okay. So that is what histogram equalization is. So now so why I want to do that? Because I want to enhance the contrast of an image. You will say, okay, but we have method, contrast stretching. I agree. But it is not necessary to use only one method. Every method has its own advantage, disadvantage, and hence we may have multiple methods for a similar task. Okay. So this is one of the possible method of increasing contrast. One of the possible method, right? What I desire, any random shape of histogram is there, then I want a uniform shape of it, right? Suppose I say it is it is a uniform or in nature, right? If it is uniform in nature, right? So if you remember. Uniform distribution, have you studied uniform distribution? Have you studied uniform distribution ever in any course? Have you studied uniform distribution? Answer is not even no. That means you don't remember. Either answer can be yes or it can be no, right? Okay, let us have third option. You don't remember. Have you studied? You studied now. Okay. So in that, if it is the span is A to B, right? So your values possible are from A to B. What is the probability of occurrence of each intensity? What is this probability? It will be 1 divided by B minus A, if you remember. This is B minus A is total. So what it will be? B minus 1 divided by B minus A. So if I have intensity from 0 to L minus 1, so what will be the probability if I plot? Okay. Right now we were working on histogram. Okay, I will come back to this. I will come back to this. Okay, now what I was telling you. Okay, so I want this type of shape, right? Okay. Can you tell me what if I'm having uniform shape of histogram? What kind of shape of PDF I will have? What kind of shape I'm looking at? Nature or distribution that PDF will have? How PDF and histogram are different? Okay, let us go here. This is the shape of your PDF, or this is the shape of your histogram, like this, then a smaller line, then a smaller line, then dot dot dot, and again this shape. This was your histogram. How PDF will look like in nature? I'm not asking in values. Values can be different, but the shape of this PDF and histogram will remain same. Are you agree with that? Yes, the shape of the PDF, because here, see, if my occurrence of 0 is more, then PDF will be relatively higher. Probability will be relatively higher. If they are not occurring at all, PDFs are also going to be 0, right? So if I will, okay, values, y-axis values can be different, but otherwise only y-axis is a normalized one. If you will see, my PDF is nothing but 18 divided by 36. This is nothing but 6 divided by 36. So actually, whatever the value I was having on the y-axis, they are the same value. They are just normalized one. So PDF is also known as normalized histogram. It is normalized by what? It is normalized by Mn. Right? What is Mn? Is a constant for a given image. M cross n is going to be constant one. Right? Dimension or resolution of your image is going to be constant for the given image, right? So PDF is also known as normalized histogram, and the shape of the PDF will remain same as your histogram just because it is divided by a constant value. Okay, so now if I say I want uniform histogram, that means my PDF is also going to be, probability of occurrence also is going to be uniform. And if it is a uniform probability, that means if you remember, the probability of occurrence of this will be 1 divided by B minus A. That is 1 divided by this minus A. But this is 0, so it is 1 divided by L minus 1. So what is my requirement? Earlier, probability of occurrence of different intensity was different. Now I want the probability of occurrence of different intensity should be same. Is it okay to all of you? Now, all right. So now what is my requirement? That my normalized histogram, I want to perform, I want to apply some function, or rather I should say I want to apply some transformation, some what we can say, some function, or rather I should say some function or transformation is a better word, but some changes I want to apply on R, so that it will change my R such a way that it will, after applying, it will become S. It will change my R such a way that its histogram was earlier like this random shape. Now it is having uniform. That means its PDF is also uniform. Now only thing remains that what should be that T. So now through research, it is given to us is that We are not going to prove it, but what two type of characteristic if this T has, then it performs histogram equalization. What is that? T must be a monotonically increasing function. Why so? We are not going to prove. We are going to accept it, right? If T is monotonically increasing function, and if my input is in certain range, like if input varies from 0 to 255, my output after applying my transformation also it should be in 255. Like after, if I apply equalization, histogram equalization, then value should be also remaining. I mean, if it is 8-bit input image, output also should be 8-bit only. It should not increase or it should not decrease the number of bits, right? And that is very logical, right? So if these two functions are satisfied, then it can perform histogram equalization. Any T that satisfies these two conditions can perform histogram equalization. Okay, monotonically increasing function, that means it can be like this. This is increasing function. This can also perform histogram equalization. Okay, so but just case is that function must give us the range of 0 to L minus 1 provided input is in the range of 0 to L minus 1. This is what our requirement is. Okay. So as I told you, this is increasing function. This is also increasing function. Both of them are valid. Right? Any other shape which is randomly increasing one, that is also valid. Okay. Now tell me, suppose I have my image, right? It is low contrast image. I apply transformation. What is that? Histogram equalization is applied. I obtained high contrast image. Now, if I want to go back, that means I want to see what was my original one. In which of these two cases that will be possible? This is my low contrast image. I applied this transformation to obtain high contrast image. Right, in second case. Right, why it is so? Why it is possible in second case? Yes, it is one-to-one mapping. It is one-to-one mapping, true. Here what is the case? Like multiple values are mapped to a single value. So now in my high contrast image, if that single value takes place, I will not be able to know that which of this input value was responsible to get, which of this input value was responsible for to get this value. And that is why one-to-one mapping, unique mapping, that is the reason. So in case you are interested in inverse, then your this condition A must changes to this is strictly monotonically increasing function. This is strictly increasing function, right? It should not have this type of hold, right? So that's it. What that if you are changing first condition to strictly monotonically increasing function, then inverse is possible. But again, if you don't need it, then you can go with the earlier definition as well. Okay, now our job is to know. Okay, now one more relation of probability theory we are going to accept. What is that? Suppose I have a random distribution X, right? I have random distribution X, or rather I should have a random variable X, and I have its probability density function. That means X can take certain values, right? Which type of values it can take? It can take this type of values. This is PDF of X. What is that? X is a random variable. In that, X can take any value in this range. That probability that X will take this value is given by this. Like PDF of our input image R kind of thing, you can map it here. But this is why I am not using image here, because this is generalized truth for probability theory. Okay, so if x is my random variable, I apply some function on x and I obtain some variable y. Y is also random variable. X is my what we can say, um, random variable on which I apply some function and I obtain y. Y is also random variable, and after this y will take certain values, say like this. This is the probability distribution of PDF of y, right? So how these two are related? By some function, like how it relates with us, that R obtains S. How they are related with? They are related with T. Like T is there, right? If this type of case is there, then what is the case? That PDF of y, PDF of y is equal to what? PDF of x into dy by dx. Rather dx by dy. Just a second, it is dx by dy. So these two PDFs are related by this equation. Now you may say how? Proof is not difficult, but right now we are having limitation of time. We are not here for studying this probability theory. So this is uh, we are going to accept this result from probability theory, but in case interested, you can just check. It will hardly take 2 minutes, 3 minutes to understand it, right? So you can try that. So how it is related with my case? So I will say that PDF of uh, S is, that is my output image, is PDF of input image R dr by ds. Right? This is the equation. Okay. So that is what one more relation that we might need. Okay. So this is one, and these two are the characteristic that we are going to accept. One more transformation is one more rule we will need, but I will let you know when it will be required. So now what is the question, that what kind of T I should use that will satisfy this two? As I told you, many options are available. One of such option is this. You can use this function, right? You can use this function to obtain value of S. So now you may say, okay, how will we trust that whether this will give me the whether this will provide me that what we can say histogram equalization? How to trust? How this equation will give me the histogram equalization? So simple thing, as I told you, that two rules it should follow. First of all, it should be in strict increasing function. I right now I'm not worried about strictly increasing or not. That we will discuss later. Is it increasing function? So can you tell me what is PR of W? I mean, when W is a dummy variable, right? W is a dummy variable. So what is P? What is PR? What it indicates? What PR indicates? This is a variable. This is the indexing, right? You can use PR of K, DK, right? That is okay. This is just a variable. So W, X, Z, whatever you want to use. What PR indicates? What is our PR? What was PR? No. What R indicates? Probability of random variable, but which random variable? Okay, I told you that we are going to denote it by PR and PS. PDF of R. How to denote how to denote what is this PS and PR? What we took it as? This is PDF of R. This R indicates that probability density function of R. Yes, it is probability density function for random variable, but which random variable it is? R. What is R in our case? How R and S we are using S? No. What is how we are using R and S? R is input image, right? So actually, this is probability density function of my input image. Okay, how to obtain this? How to obtain this PR of R? So I will have my image, right? Then I will find out its histogram, that how many times each intensity will take place. Then I will this is my histogram. Then I will normalize it by total number of count, M cross N. So whichever I will obtain, that will be my PR of R. That will be a random. That will be of random shape. That will be of random shape, right? And what I want, I should transform it. So I will apply some function over this. So what will be my input to this? Input to this function will be my image. From my image, I can easily obtain PR of R, because image is that. That means you can find out its histogram. That means you can find out its PR of R, right? So I mean, you can find out its PR. PR indicates that probability density function of R. R is input image. Okay. Now suppose okay, PR of 0. What is the indication of that PR of 0? It is probability in my input image, probability of occurrence of 0. PR of 1, it indicates in my input image, probability of occurrence of 1. Understood? So if I am writing PR of R, what is the meaning of this R here? What is the range of R here? R can take value 0. This R can take value 0 to L minus 1. Instead of R, if you want to use K, then also it is the same thing. K can take value 0 to L minus 1. Instead, you can use W. So this is alternatively used. But what this PR indicates? The probability of occurrence of intensity W in input image R. Is it making sense to you now? Okay. Fine. So this is okay. So now what we did? Okay. So now if you are okay. So now what I am doing is that, suppose I okay. So now let us take my input image. In my input image, suppose I am taking my input image is R, and this is PR of R. Can you tell me what will be the range of R? As I told you, it will be 0 to L minus 1. Okay. Then I want to find out some transformation. I am applying this transformation here. Can you tell me this R can take which possible values? This is my input image. Now, what values are possible of this R? What values are possible of this R? What kind of values that can be given as input to this T? R is my input image, right? What is the range of this input image? This is input image, right? So it is a matrix only. It will take certain value. What is the range of this R? 0 to L minus 1. That means both are same, no? 0 to L minus 1, right? So they are 0 to L minus 1. So actually everything is same here. Just sometimes they are using different notations at different location, but logically, if you will understand, everything is same here, right? So okay. So now suppose my input value, suppose I'm interested in finding value for, suppose my input, currently my intensity value is 1. Assume that my input intensity is 1. Suppose I'm encountering a pixel and its value is 1, right? So I want to find out what should be, what I should apply, what should be, what kind of transformation I should apply over that, such that I should obtain a new value here, which is S, right? So some transformation is applied over this, right? Some transformation is applied over this, some function is applied over this, so that new value is obtained. Okay, what is that? So it is nothing but L minus 1, 0 to 1, PR of W dW. I will write it. So what it is? L minus 1. Can you tell me what will be the L minus 1 if it is a 8-bit image? I am currently working. What is L minus 1 if it is 8-bit image? It will be 255, right? So I am writing here 255, 0 to R. R is what? L minus 1. Sorry, R is what? R is 1. I am currently finding for 1. So my 0 to 1, R is 1. Then it is PR of W dW. Okay. And so what we are actually doing here? We are summing up our probabilities of probability of input, right, from 0 to 1. We are adding them, all the probabilities from 0 to 1, right, in the input, and that summation is multiplied with 255, and whatever I am obtaining is that value is considered as S. Okay, because I know that PR, see, actually this is for the continuous domain. We will take it, right? Currently our values are possible only 0 and 1. My PR is defined for R value 0 and R value 1. My PR is not defined for intermediate values, right? So that's why it is currently we have to go for the discrete version of this, then it will make more sense. But what is my point here? That if you want to compute what will be equivalent value of my input value, that value I will substitute here. L minus 1 is a constant, 0 to that value, integration of your input intensities, like what it indicates here. If you will understand it in terms of summation, this discrete summation, then it will look like 255 into probability of 0 plus probability, because W can take value, only two values are possible here. Why? Because my PR is not defined for, my input probability is not defined for any other intensity. What is the probability of occurrence of 1.5 value or 0.5 value? 0.5 intensity is not defined. Probability of occurrence of 0.5 is not defined, right? In my input image can take value 0, 1, 2, so on, right? And hence it will make more sense if I'm using summation. So of course we are going for summation part, but what is the case here? Integration also you can see as summation, right? Because other values are not defined. So ultimately you are going to get this result only. Okay. So this is how, if you will perform, so if you will take what is the probability of occurrence of 0, in our case here it was 0.5. Here it was 0.5, and probability of occurrence of 1 was 1 by 6. So 0.5 plus 1 by 6 into L minus 1, whatever it is. In that case it was 7, here it is 255, whatever it is, and whatever value you will get, that will be your new value S. Okay. So if I will perform the entire job like that, then histogram equalization will take place, right? Of course we need to take more details on this, but first of all we have to verify whether, okay, if I say it will perform, you should not trust. You should verify whether that two conditions are fulfilled by this. If yes, then we should go for the discrete version. Then we will go for verification, and then we will trust it. Till time we are just in examining state. Okay. So first of all, let us verify whether those two conditions are satisfied or not. First condition was that this should be always increasing function. That means that this value should be this right side, this function, this function always increase. It should not be like if this increases, this should decrease, right? So what about the probability values? Will that be ever negative? Will this probability be ever negative? No. So if I will integrate them, will that integration be ever reduced than the previous value? Suppose I am calculating for R1, then I will calculate for R2. R2 will be what? PR of 0 plus PR of 1 plus PR of 2. Up to R value 0 to 2 I have to sum. Right? So will that ever decrease? It is always increasing function, right? It is always increasing function. Right? If my R value takes 3 value, then it will be for 0, 1, 2 and 3. Right? So it is always increasing function. If my probability of occurrence of particular intensity is 0, it may be having this state, but it will never be decreasing function. Okay, so first condition is satisfied. What about second condition? What about second condition? That if my R value is 0, if my R value is L minus 1, then this also should be in the range of L minus 1, 0 to L minus 1. Okay, so if my R value is L minus 1, then this will be L minus 1. That means this should be summation of probability of occurrence of 0 plus probability of occurrence of 1 plus probability of occurrence of 2 plus up to probability of occurrence of L minus 1. Can you tell me what will be that summation result to? All the summations here, what that summation will result to? 1. It is going to be 1 true. And because summation of all the probabilities is going to be 1, and that one is multiplied here, that means that if my R is L minus 1, maximum value of R, my result is also limited to L minus 1. After that, R is not going to increase, so S cannot increase. Right? So that is why both the conditions are satisfied, that if my R is in the range of L minus 1, my TR of R will also be in the range of S, will also be in the range of L minus 1. Okay. Possibly, you might need some examples, you might need some more discussion over this, right? We have to prove this, we cannot accept it directly, we need to discuss this more, but more discussion we will take it in next lecture. More details over this will be taken in next lecture. Any doubt up to this? Of course, more clarification I will give by examples, but theoretically you must be clear with. Okay, so further details we will discuss in the next lecture.